it's Melanie. Happy Friday. Welcome to Friday Favorites and Flops. I hope you guys all had a really good week. I had a good week myself, just kind of trying to wrap my mind around the fact that tomorrow is the 1st of June and that Stella only has a couple of weeks of first grade left. Man, time flies with a kid. I always kind of thought that time went by really slowly before I had Stella. Now it's like polar opposite. I feel like everything is just flying by me constantly, and it kind of stresses me out a little bit, but we are ready for summer. Stella, let me turn that dinger off. Stella is super excited for the summer camps that I signed her up for. They are very intensive summer camps. She's gonna be very busy for a good chunk of the day, and hopefully she'll come home very tired. And we'll just want to chill out in the evenings. So that's kind of what Craig and I are hoping for, was signing her up for this particular camp. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I had a really good week. I hope you guys had a good week as well. I did go see Penny from Pensmith Skincare on Tuesday, so you might be able to see the spots on my face. So I went for my second round of my sebaceous hyperplasia treatment with the plasma pen, and once again had a really great time talking with Penny, and I love just talking to her about skincare stuff because she's so super knowledgeable and she's just a pleasure to be around. But we are going to be doing a collab that will probably go up not next week but the following week, talking about what she did to get rid of my sebaceous hyperplasia. So I'm going to be talking at it from the standpoint of having it done, what it feels like, you know, how much it costs, the healing time, what I think the outlook is in terms of, are these going to come back, you know, like that kind of stuff. And then Penny will do a video that will talk about more of like the technical side of it. So what is the instrument that she used? You know, what are some of the precautions that you have to think about before going in? Maybe what to look for in an esthetician, how to find an esthetician that does the treatment. So she'll kind of tackle all that kind of stuff. A few of you sent me direct messages on Instagram asking questions that either I or Penny can answer. So if you're not on Instagram and you have a question about it, list it down below in the comments section, and I'll make sure to gather the information and then pass what I need to along to Penny for her end, and then I'll answer all other questions that don't have to do with like the technical side of things. So anyway, yeah, so it's healing pretty quickly this go around, just like it did the last time. Penny does think she wants to do maybe like one more pass, so in another few weeks I'll go back and we'll do kind of one last treatment. She's expecting it to be like a series of 3 to really fully treat them. The larger sebaceous hyperplasia definitely need to be treated at least 2 times. So this is not necessarily a one and done kind of deal. So something to keep in mind. All right, I have lots of things to share with you guys this week. I have just a little bit of a flop as well, just because it doesn't work for my skin type, but I think it's still a really good product. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive right in, and I'm gonna get started with skincare. So as you guys are aware, if you follow me for my like monthly skincare routine videos, I was using the Soam brand skincare exclusively during the month of May. Next week or early the following week, I will be doing my kind of roundup of what that experience was like from using one skincare brand. But the 2 things, there's 3 things that I think are kind of a must for me going forward with this particular line. I think it was last week I showed the transport pads, but I also want to mention that the A-Balm moisturizer and the serum, they just call it serum, have been amazing products. And I actually kind of had it verified by Penny. When I was there on Tuesday, she said that my skin looked better than from the previous month before I started using the Soam skincare line. So that kind of says a lot to me because she actually pointed it out without me like asking. She was saying that my skin looked really good, and I was like, oh, do you think it's different from before because I've been using this new line? And she was like, there's definitely a difference. My skin looks much more glowy, it's much more hydrated, and very clear. I think it has to do with these products. Now, this is not a cheap skincare line. I will be doing in that video, I'll talk more about the ingredients. I actually spent an hour, I think it was late last week. I spent an hour on the phone with one of the people from the company, just asking them questions about the formulations and listening to kind of the history of the brand and how they came out with everything. And after that conversation, I just left that feeling really impressed with what they're doing and what their thought process is behind their formulations. Expensive stuff, but they are going to be, I think, rebranding and repackaging here soon. So my hope is that, like this moisturizer, for example, is just in a big old jar like this. I hate this type of packaging. And I told them, I was like, honestly, the packaging, I'm not impressed. And they don't put a ton of money into it because the products are stable. You should be finishing this before it goes bad. So everything is shelf stable, but they recognize that the packaging needs to be stepped up. But right now they're just kind of focusing on getting the word out about the brand. So I will link both of these down below at Dermstore. Again, it's spendy, but Penny said my skin looks good, and I really thought my skin looked good before starting this, but there's a difference. And she was looking at my skin with one of those like freaky ring light magnifying things that estheticians have. Every time she pulls that out and looks at my face, I'm like, oh God. Can you see every single one of my pores? And yes, she can. So she says they look good, so there you go. Also, masking this past week, I've been using the Strivectin mask for most of the month, but I wanted to kind of switch it up. So this past week I pulled out the Herbivore Brighten mask. This is an instant glow mask. This one is, it's a really nice one. You can see I've actually used quite, I don't want to tip it because you have to, like before you use it, you kind of have to stir it up a little bit and the liquid has kind of risen to the top, but I've used quite a bit of it. It has not much of a scent to it, but it just works to give you just some light exfoliation, gets rid of dead skin, gives you kind of like that fresh look to your skin. It's non-irritating and just gives me kind of a nice boost, I didn't necessarily need to use this, but I don't know. I just like the results that I get from it, and my skincare goes on really nicely afterwards because again, you're just kind of sloughing off that like dead skin that might be there, and everything else like the serums and stuff flow into the old pores a little bit better after that. Okay. Also, I have been using the City Lash serum, and I really like this stuff, you guys. If you've never used any of these like City beauty products, they're a really great line actually. They sent me a few things. They sent me this, but I've started using it, and I do think that my lashes are a little bit more conditioned and more supple feeling. I haven't noticed a whole lot of growth yet, but I've only been using it religiously for about a couple weeks now. When I first got it, I was kind of haphazardly putting it on, but it's really, really good. I feel like it nourishes my lashes at the very least, makes them really soft. I haven't been losing a lot of lashes lately, so this is really good. All right, for my lips this week, these have kind of been my go-tos. I'm excited for June to be coming around because I'm gonna be switching out my makeup for the month of June. I tend to get really bored by the end of the month with my like Shop My Stash that I picked for that month. But I do still love these products. So this week I've been sporting quite a bit of the Buxom Celeste, which is a gorgeous, I would say it's like a champagne peach shimmer. It's really, really pretty. Still loving the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I don't put this on quite as heavily this time of year because it can get pretty dark on me. It is a very browny nude, but I'll just kind of lightly put it on and then go over it with a gloss. And I really think it looks like a very natural lip color when I do that. And then the Fenty Beauty in Fussy. This is just beautiful. I know a lot of people like the original one. I don't even remember what the original one is called, but this Fussy shade is absolutely lovely. There's probably not a whole lot of difference between this one and the first one that she released, but I just liked the kind of more pinky tone of this one better, and it goes really well with the Charlotte Tilbury too. So little tiny bit of shimmer on the lips, just it makes my lips look a lot fuller. So, and this combination is fantastic. Blushes this week. This was actually not in my Shop My Stash, but I was just kind of craving it, so I pulled it out. It's the Jouer Blush Duo in Coquette. I like mixing these two together. Just really, really pretty combination. Also, just this shade by itself for like a really natural look is stunning. These Jouer brushes are blushes, geez Louise, are wonderful. They definitely last all day on my oily skin. And then I've also been trying to use the Becca Mineral Blush in Flower Child quite a bit. I only have the small size of this. I do believe that this color is still available in the full size. It has like more of a satin finish to it, but it's a very pretty peachy pink. It's kind of what I always wanted NARS Orgasm to be. I just think this is like an even prettier version because it's not quite as shimmery. And very just natural looking on the cheeks. In terms of eyeshadows, I've been using these. I've been trying to get away from just exclusively using my Viseart because I know that not everybody wants to splurge on the Viseart shadows. If you're on a tighter budget when it comes to makeup and you've never tried these Smashbox palettes, these are only 29 bucks. There's plenty of eyeshadow in here. I mean, it'll take you forever to get through this anyway, but these are gorgeous. The formula is fantastic. It's not as good as the Viseart, but it's really, really good, especially for the price point. It's actually fantastic. So the Smashbox Cover Shot Matte Eyeshadow Palette is what I'm wearing today. I mixed actually this shade right here, which is Publisher, and then Editor. I'm reading this upside down. Apparently I can't read upside down. And Editor over here. So I have these two in my crease and then this shade right here on my lid, which is Angels. So love this. But also this week I've been wearing the Cover Shot in Punked as well. And this one is a must if you love purples. You guys know I love my purples. If you have green eyes, you have to try this palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the formula is just, it's very creamy, it's very buttery, it blends very well. One thing I will say is I don't find these stay put throughout like the entire day. There's a little bit of fading, not a ton, but there's definitely some fading. The Viseart shadows don't fade on me at all, which I really like. But by 8 o'clock at night, I can definitely tell that my makeup is ready to like come off. Now, by 8 o'clock at night, I'm pretty much ready for that anyway. And I do put my makeup on pretty early in the morning. I mean, I'm putting my makeup on at like 6 a.m. So for it to hold up until 8, it's not bad, but anyway. And then a couple of skincare things for you guys. So Paula's Choice did send me these two things. This is the Resist Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid Broad Spectrum SPF 50. I've been testing this out and I really like it, you guys. This has a really nice like fluid consistency to it. You want to shake it really well before you use it. This is a chemical sunscreen. So if you are not into chemical sunscreens, this would not be the one for you. My like still go-to every single day is always going to be the Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense. This is my holy grail. And this is a zinc oxide, so this is a physical sunscreen. But the chemical one, I know there are people that are averse to it, but honestly, when I am out working in the sun, either working out in the yard or working at a wedding, this has been really, really good because I think the higher SPF is just better for me. And I do go over top with the Kate Somerville Uncomplicated SPF 50. I actually have one of these in my like flower kit that I take that has all of my zip ties and floral tape and all of that kind of stuff in it. So I actually have one of these in there that I spray on my face, like after I can tell that I've been sweating and just, you know, need to kind of freshen up the SPF. But this has been great for my oily skin. This one is specifically for normal oily and combination skin. Doesn't make me extra greasy or anything like that. I still like the feel of the other one better, but on days when I'm working outside, I've been going to this and it's been really good. Now, a little bit of a flop for me. Paula's Choice also sent this guy. This is their Smoothing Primer Serum SPF 30. This has antioxidants in it. It is supposed to prime, protect, and perfect the skin. So what this is, it is kind of like a silicone primer that has an SPF in it. It's, again, chemical sunscreen. This is what it looks like here. So it just looks like your classic silicone primer. Has a very silicone-y feel to it. What it's great for is helping to fill in your pores, just kind of protect the skin with that SPF and prime your face for makeup, essentially. Now, what I find with very silicone-heavy primers, like this one in particular, is it's great for like the first couple hours, and my skin, it looks like glass. It looks beautiful. But when my oil breaks through, because I have such extremely oily skin, what it does is it kind of lifts the silicones up and they slide down my face. So for me, this is something that I would only wear if I knew that I was maybe just taking some pictures and then like removing my makeup afterwards, because this is not going to allow my makeup to stay put. It doesn't work for me. But I feel like if you have normal skin, if you have combination skin, or probably just regularly oily skin, like during the summer months, this would probably work really well for you. It really does fill in all of your pores, and it's really easy to remove at night with a double cleanse. But if you have extremely oily skin like me and you have the same issue where things just kind of slide off with silicone heavy products, this might not work for you. So I'm probably gonna pass this along to my mom or maybe my sister-in-law or something. I think it's gonna work better for them. And again, I love that it has the broad spectrum SPF 30 in it. I think that's really important. Anything that you can do to protect your skin, you should do that. So yeah, anyway, that's what I have for you guys. That's what I have for this week. By the way, I have been going back to using the Rayfa Carrot. If you've never seen this thing, I know what it looks like, I'm fully aware. But I've gone back to using this on a daily basis because I have a video out about this product. I will link the video down below. That video definitely gets some comments on it. But once I did that video, I didn't use the product consistently, and there's a lot of people that are like, what is it like when you use it for like months on end? So I am in the process of using this for the next few months, and I'm gonna let you guys know if it really does tighten and tone my skin. I really like the way that it feels. I can tell you that right off the bat. It's a really nice massager, but it's something that you have to use for a while, I think, to really see the results for. So I've gone back to testing that. So anyway, there you guys go. Let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Take care. Bye.